Alright, so welcome to the Grey Goo Project by me, Jaloric. What you can see on screen right now is my mod selection for this project, which is the Logistics Train Network, Recursive Blueprints, Waterfill, Auras Everywhere but Not Visible, Max Rate Calculator. I believe that is it. So I'm going to discuss those mods choices a little bit while we wait for the audio to cut in, because I cut out the audio for the first bit of this recording. So, Logistics Train Network, I could set up the trains in vanilla, and that was that one guy who made the Logistics Train Network in vanilla, and I could definitely do that, but I think that's not really like the core concept behind this project, and I decided to kind of neglect that portion of it, and I'm going to revisit it hopefully in the future. But I'd much rather have a automated factory with Logistics Train Network than no automated factory at all. So that's where I chose to cut some corners. That's the same with the Waterfill mod. Again, like trying to find a lake with circuit networks and then put pumps on it. That's a pain. So we're going to skip that part. Maybe I'll come back to it one day. And then along that same line of thought, recursive blueprints is obviously necessary for this project. That like you can't make an automated factory without it. The other ones, ores everywhere but not visible. That's a lot. That helps a lot with designing, because I can put mining drills wherever the heck I want, and I don't have to worry about like actually finding giant ore patches to put mining drills on. It also is going to help with like the concept of the factory, but I'm going to try and design it in such a way that you could play it in a normal world as long as you crank the resource settings. So hopefully it's not going to be dependent on that. And then max rate calculator, again, is just for designing it. It would be completely unnecessary for the actual building of it. So there's only really two mods, which is Logistics Train Network and Waterfill, that will be mandatory in order to run it. And that's pretty much it. So if you're unfamiliar with a Grey Goo concept, essentially it's the concept of like a gray body or slime that kind of just like expands and takes over the world, and that's what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build a factory that expands forever, self-replicating, and does science as well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I've been live streaming it on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Jaloric, and then yep, I hope you enjoyed this video and the videos to come. And I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the video. Well, the very first thing I want to design, and something that's been in my brain for a little while, is oh god, the ore thing is getting kind of annoying. Is you know what? We're gonna go to the center of these four ore things, and then we're gonna chill there for a bit. Okay, get the robots, figure yourselves out, man. Okay, we're at this is the four ore things. And that's good enough for now. So here's what I want. I want an easy way to select which blueprint we're using. So first of all, let me throw down this. This is going to be like the start of our brain. Where the heck is the corner of this stuff? Copper. There. This right here is the very border. That stone. This coal. That right there is the very border of this thing. So that is our ground zero for now. Stone in it. This over 2 tiles. Okay, you are going to put the middle, and then we're going to do the same thing down here. thing. I'm gonna put like 3 of them in, just so we can have a ton of power. Yeah, we probably never ever run out of power. Next order of business, we're gonna create a way of decoding a binary signal into a signal to copy a blueprint into. So we're gonna make, I think, 8 of these. I believe there's 257 or something like that signals that you can send over the logistics network, or the circuit network. And that is like 8 digits of binary. Like, give or take a handful, like 5 or whatever. I think it's 3, I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, point is, I think 8 digits of binary is enough to distinguish all of the potential things. And that is good, except that it's not good enough, is it? Let me think here. Let me think. Well, we shouldn't do binary thing, actually, because we should just have... Yeah, that makes way more sense. What am I on about? First of all, I need some inserters. Get rid of this refined concrete nonsense. Give me some inserters. That's a good idea. Inserters. Okay, we're going to insert from these things, which are going to actually have blueprints in them. And right behind them, we're going to have a different set of blueprint. Or these are like the master copies of blueprints. So we're going to take a blueprint. New blueprint. We're going to copy these 4 substations. There you go. That's easy. Yeah. Pretty simple. Pretty simple little contraption. I actually quite like that there's like the crosshairs on the center of these things. So I might space it out like this for the entire base. Like, so you know that this is the center of this like little chunk. And I quite like that. So it might stay like that for the entire base. But in the meantime, let's grab, let's put that blueprint into here. There we go. I'm gonna run red wires. Red wires are like local wires for, usually for me anyways. Red wires from there to there, and then a green wire straight across with a constant combi at the end. And you are going to get the signal of C. Alright, stop that. How has this happened? Okay. The problem is that you started duplicating blueprints from yourselves. That's problematic, to say the least. What if I output a blueprint, but like -1,000 blueprint? Sure. Then I output a C. So I'm trying to copy it, but they can't find it because it's a mess. They're trying to copy it, but they can't find it. Give me an express loader. Give me an infinity chest. Where's the infinity chest? Well, that's annoying. Oh my god. Okay. Reddit. Can't request it either. How odd. How very odd. Whatever. Remove. That's just to get rid of the extra blueprints so I don't have to deal with them. Eventually it should back up, probably. Wow. Just the right amount. I only want one of them to get through. So, if I just pulse you. If I just give you a pulse quickly, we're going to take the green circuit off. We're going to put an arithmetic here. Green circuit to there, green circuit there, and then a red circuit here. You are a read with a pulse, and you will multiply number of blue belts by the number on C and output on C. Now, if I stick a blue belt on here. Okay. That's a bit awful, isn't it? Let's go. It's not registering, even though by all accounts it should be. I believe it should be. Huh. Okay. That registered it. It's a bit weird. Another blue belt. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Well, how about this? What if we said it's going to be this minus, and I just put 2. And our output is blue. Or minus 1. Output blue. Now you are going to be on. Except instead of feeding you, I'm just going to feed you. Okay, so that was a mistake. It's not an awful mistake. So every time this one item comes around, he now does this thing. And the reason is that these are always being told to copy, but he's not getting any signal. He's getting a signal of 0 because those two are canceling each other out. Okay, that'll work. That'll do. And I do think we're going to use a belt for like a central clock for our quote-unquote computer here. We're going to need some way of figuring out what is going on. So the belt clock seems reasonable. So this nonsense here is just going to duplicate whatever thing we want. Yeah. Now, the trick of the matter oh, jeez. The trick of the matter is that this inserter only turns on when we want a specific thing to be done. So I'm going to disconnect all of these. The enable condition is when, for example, I don't know, substation is greater than 0. So yeah. The trick of the matter, oh, that isn't going to work though, because they're going to copy from the side to the side again. How do we make it choose a blueprint? I think maybe it's best to not have this centralized thing go on. Let's try that. Let's try that. We're gonna get rid of that. There you go. We have to feed this a C if we want it to activate. So we give it a arithmetic combinator. We'll put it here just for convenience sake. We'll combine that to there, and we'll get rid of this C. And we're going to say U, if you have a C, we're going to output to C. We're going to put 1 to C. And we're going to output 1 to C if I am in need of, let's just say, substation for now. Substation greater than 0. Seems reasonable to me. So if substation is greater than 0, I'm going to get a command to duplicate. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to place a medium pole where I disconnect the actual wire. And I'm just going to do one of those. Yep. Seems reasonable. What? Let me get Discord on the other one here. Okay, we're gonna ignore that message for now. Cool. so I think that's it for this little bit. This is the first bit of the project. So I can request which blueprint I want down here. Put whatever the heck we want in here. We can put those and those and those. We're not going to get anything, but if we slap down and it's the substation pulse, substation pulse. Hello. That was wrong. We are going to get a substation blueprint, which is then going to be deleted immediately because that's how it works. But you see what I'm getting at here. So if I'm giving it a substation pulse, I will get a substation blueprint onto this belt. I probably am not going to put it on the belt directly when I'm done. I believe we're going to read it directly from this chest. We're going to have all the chests hooked up. In that case, I should probably... Well, I'll disconnect you from you and you from you. And I'll just Control X this to there. And then connect it up again. Then this chest will be hooked up to all its neighbors, and then we're going to pull the output from that because we only need the blueprint. And in fact, we should be able to pull the blueprint directly from one of these chests. And when that's the case, we will also send them a D to delete the blueprint. And I think that's about it for now, until we get some more infrastructure happening. The next thing I'm gonna be doing is setting up a rail network. Just for funsies. No particular reason we're doing it in this order, but that's how I want to do it, so we're gonna do it that way. Now in the original Grey Goo, which we are looking at here, he has it going out in this pattern. I don't know if there's a great image of it, probably right at the beginning. Yeah, here. He has it going out in a circular pattern. Yeah, he's over here. As it expands, spirals outwards one cell at a time. So it started here-ish, I assume, and then it went around and around and around. And that's cool. And certainly works. But I'm not so sure about it. Oh, you know the other mod I really wanted is I'm going to save game as Grey Goo. What's the short form for child? Grey Goo. I'm just going to call it Grey Goo. Save. Okay, game. We're going to play load game. No, wait. No. Mods. Install. LTN. This is Logistics Train Network. What is this? I actually have no idea how this works. I'm going to install it. Okay. Can we install that too? Cannot install that. That is weird. No, it's already installed. Okay. I'm going to install Max's rate calculator too, just for funsies. Confirm. Um, okay. Get rid of that. Okay, so his intersections looked a little something like this. With one of these, one of those. I'm just going to copy this. And then he had this dealio happening. And I mean, I quite like this setup. If for no other reason than it looks pretty. I don't think that's strictly necessary, but we're gonna do it anyways. Because it does look pretty. And it's nice and compact as well. I certainly could. But at the same time, I feel like a bit of spacing between the rails isn't going to be a bad thing. That's what I'm going with. I'm going to go with that. Oh, I wish I had room for a deconstruction planer. You don't need those, right? Right? Yeah. Let's get rid of that. Let's go with... I'm going to go with roundabout, simply because I don't think a roundabout is going to be enough of a hold-up. People don't like roundabouts, but I like them. We can always switch it out with something else later if we don't like them. But I think we're going to be fine. We're going to run power down the center of these roundabouts. We're going to do those. Yep. Perfect placement. Well done. So if I copy this and rotate it. Nice. That is beautiful, to be honest. Okay. Yeah. In fact, I already have a blueprint for this, right? Yeah. I was gonna copy this blueprint book. Yeah. This is a blueprint book from one of my personal playthroughs. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to modify it. There's a couple of issues with this intersection. First of all, well, actually, like the rail signal thing here. That's fine. But first of all, let me get this. So this is on the... I want it to be centered more, first of all. So let's put it there. There you go. We're going to put it on all four sides. Done. Second of all, I absolutely want this to be there. And I do not want this to be lined up with that anymore. And that is essentially it. This is our actual intersection here. And then we're going to Control-C this over into there. And there. And there. So this is our actual corner blueprint. This is what a corner of our base is going to look like. Yes, put that away. Except we need a couple more things. Number one, I wouldn't mind just power. Well, I'm going to try and actually make actual power eventually. Not now. I have this thing just for like, dicking around. But eventually we're going to have actual power. And I'd also like to have logistics or a robot network. And I think I'm going to have the robots do all of the expanding and have one gigantic logistics network. And I know that's going to cause me issues, but hear me out. I don't think the issues will be that bad. Essentially, the growth of the factory will be limited on how fast the robots can build a new section. Worst case scenario, we could have a queue multiple sections at once, but I don't think the actual limiting factor will be how fast the robots can make it there. Especially if we grow it in the spiral pattern like the original Grey Goo. Although I'm thinking about doing a line. Although I wouldn't need the four-way intersection for that. Like just having it go straight left or right, or both, to make it simpler. Oh, that is a good idea though, isn't it? Having it go straight left or right. Then I could even put it in a what do you call it? A band world? Something like that. I think I'm gonna keep that idea actually. Let's do it. Let's do it. What's the worst that could happen? We're gonna try and turn this into a straight old line. Sure. I also don't know how LTN works, so we're gonna have to learn that. But I do know it makes trains a heck of a lot easier. I also know it's pretty much required for something like this. Although we could use the vanilla LTN, ideally. Technically. Maybe. I'm not really sure. Anyways, let me think about this real fast. So, okay, if we do this, we obviously will not need... Oh, you know what else? We actually could have it completely, like, modular in the way of... We don't have to have an even or a set length for a section. We could just have a top rail and a bottom rail, which are put on our things and just are put on the thing and just replicated forever. Like if we just have a north rail and a south rail on a blueprint and just replicate the thing forever. I don't know how tall we should make it. Maybe we stick with the idea of keeping it in a band world and make it a nice round even number. I've got 100 of these, so about 50. What do you mean? Please delete. Oh. Well, that's kind of a pain, isn't it? Oh my god. It's awful. Okay, we have 100. Deliver all my fucking rails, please. There you go. So we want to go up to 51. That is 100 tiles. And a very reasonable distance to work with. I'm going to... Should we use left-hand drive or right-hand drive? I wanted to use right-hand drive. We're gonna use right-hand drive because we're gonna leave a few spaces on the outside for power poles for signals. So we're gonna put 2 power poles on either end. So we're gonna bring it in by 2, followed by 1 rail, spaced by 2, or maybe only spaced by 1. Second rail. I don't know exactly what the difference will be, but let's roll with one rail spacing for now. Just make it fun. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on the bottom. So let me get rid of those and those. We're gonna go 1, 2, and also I should think Shift N, Control N. Yeah. So we should get 2 of these, and well, that's 42. 43, 44, 45, 46. Yeah. So that's correct. So that might just help me out. Haha. Success. I've used it once in my life. Let me. Okay, so that should be the correct proportions for what we intend to do. Now, here's the idea. What if instead of doing the spiral thing, I'm just gonna make it a straight line. So I'm just gonna duplicate what I've got here, essentially, just over and over and over. Like next one will be there, and then there, and so on and so forth forever. You know? Now, the power poles, I want them to be spaced out correctly. And that's the correct spacing, apparently. I'm going to put them even with the rails so that it's easier to work with them in the future if I have to. That means you guys might have to move. No, you guys seem to be fine. Let's just make sure we're in the same alignment this way. You're not even close to being in the same alignment. There we go. Nice and tidy. Then we're gonna run rails. And also another change from the original. Let me hop over here. I believe this is using 1-4 trains or 2-4 trains or something. Let me see. It's using 1-3-1 trains. Oh, interesting. Interesting indeed. I will be using none of that. I'll be using 1-2 trains because 1-2 trains are the way to go in life. And that's a fact. You can't argue, unfortunately. It's just a cold, hard truth. And there really is no argument against it. Anyways, I'm gonna slap one there and see how that works out when I copy this whole thing and paste it in right next to itself. Boop. Perfect. Okay, that's easy. How are you doing? That is space for 4 wagons. That is unfortunate spacing because it's very close to being perfect for a 1-2 train. And it actually lends itself to his 1-2-1 trains from before. But I will not use a 1-2-1 train because I am lazy and do not want to change my ways. But for realsies though, we're going to slap down this and this. It's just going to make it easier for us, okay? In the way of, it's going to make it easier because there's more space for on and off things. Now, besides having power and signals run down the side, we don't actually have a center of this thing, do we? Let me get a bunch of concrete. I'm gonna mark the edge of this thing in concrete just so we never lose it. then we're going to find the center of this thing by dropping. So it's supposed to have 46 rails, something like that. Can I do Control N? Is this going to tell me how tall something is? No. No, it won't. Well, if we run concrete all the way down, it will. I get hazard refined concrete for that measurement. Control N. This one from here up to there. So 80 tiles is what we have to work with. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now we want to go down to 40 tiles, and that's going to be our midpoint. Nope, look at that. 40 right there. Nope. Nope. Crap. Do not know how to do that. Let me do it again. 40 tiles right there. Boom. Boom. That right there is the midpoint. And I will mark that with some more concrete. Okay. Next order of business, I would like to directly up from here put a power pole at the midpoint. Done. Now, well, I can get a power pole anywhere around here. Although, I mean, we kind of want on and off ramps around here, right? I don't really know how this is going to work. Just do that. Anyways, I want one of those. And one of those. Followed by one of those. Oh, that is an interesting issue, isn't it? Well. Interesting. Okay, so it won't let me just turn it off at the same time, but what if I go 2 tiles back? That'll allow me to do it. That'll allow me to do it. So just one tile back. We're just gonna delay recombining for a tile. That'll be fine. And then we're just gonna do the same thing down south. Straight down. Steep, obviously. There we go. And then you are just going to have a simple delay on it. You are coming down. No, you're coming up to the right. So I'm going to have you stop there, you stop there, you stop there, you stop there. And, well, that seems unnecessary. Not that it matters, I guess, at the end of the day. We'll just divide everything up properly for funsies. We'll go there, there, and there. So all those signals will ensure that we can just have on and off ramps wherever the heck we want. That's pretty nifty. Pretty nifty indeed, if I do say so myself. Now, the top 2 lanes always go left, and the bottom 2 lanes always go right. So all of our interlane things will look exactly like this, except for the ones which go from which go from except for the ones I want to input from the left lane. Ooh, but do I want to input anything from the left lane? Well, I suppose I will eventually. Let's that's okay. We'll just do this. It's not bad. Hold it off. There you go, not bad. Looking fine to me. It's not bad at all. Now, yeah. Okay, so now that we have this, I would like to design. Well, I don't really have a standard section now, do I? I guess not. We're just gonna have it extend on forever then, huh? I suppose so. We can put roboports in here quite nicely, and they line up nice and good. So let's do that quickly while I'm here. The roboports go on opposite side of the train signals. And they line up quite well. Yeah. And finally, we'd like one in the middle, and that will cover everything. Put two in the middle, just like so. But as for actual power, can we route a substation through here? If we drop a substation, it happened to line up perfectly. That would be pretty sweet. That's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? There you go. Okay, what if we do that and that? It's not bad. I like that. Just one tile overlap in each direction. Now, better like if there's an extra tile overlap right there for this. How many? Wait, what? Wait a minute. You've got 3 tiles on this side and 2 tiles on that side? How's that work? Oh, because we have the... Wait, what? Doesn't make any sense at all. You're supposed to be lined up. Yeah, you are. You're supposed to be lined up. No, you're not. That makes so much more sense. Yeah. So ideally we put it right there. Of course, I put the train right there. So let's not do that. We're gonna Alt-D this section of train, and then we're going to Control-C this section of train, rotate it around, and then we're going to shove it 1 block that way. Okay, that seems more reasonable. There's quite a lot of overlap here, isn't there? I'm not sure how I feel about that, if I'm going to be totally honest. Maybe one section, quote unquote, will be defined as however long it takes for a substation to like become out of sync and then come back into sync with the electric poles on the side. Maybe if it's not too long. We're going to copy everything over in just a minute here. Also, what we're going to do next may shock you. We're going to hook up the 2 power networks. Boom. So these things finally have power. We're going to put down an infinity chest. Boom, right here. I'm going to throw down a roboport. I'm going to put down express loader. Flip that. We're going to get a passive provider. No, we're going to get storage chest with that. Well, we should technically get a passive provider. Let's do it. We're going to get a passive provider. Put that there. Well, we're going to get rails on this. You know, we're going to copy this real quick. We're going to copy this a couple of times. You are going to make me rails. There you go. You are going to make me those. You can make me those. You can make me those. You can make me those. You are gonna make me those. You make me those. I'm gonna put down a heck ton of these just to make sure. And at some point we're going to grab this. I'm going to put it into the roboport. And you are going to make me construction robots. So we'll have a never-ending supply of construction robots to do our bidding, essentially. And I believe these are all the resources I need to actually build more of these sections. So we're going to copy and paste this whole thing. And paste it right there. And watch as our giant wave of construction robots does its thing. And it should be built in one sweep. Yep. Quite effective. Next, we're going to turn off this thing. We're going to delete these rail sections because I don't need them anymore. At least not duplicate ones. I'm going to delete the inside ones as well. I'm going to turn off my personal robot port because I shouldn't need them anymore to build stuff. We're going to go over to there. We're going to go over to there. Over there and over there. That's good so far. Now we're going to grab a substation. We're going to go straight up from this to where it belongs. There it is. Then we're going to go. Well, we can do a couple of experiments here. First of all, what happens if we go in the same sync, so to speak? There you go. Also, this section can be duplicated continually. At what point do these things line up again? They line up here? Yeah, right there. That's not bad. So if we called one section from here to there, that's not bad at all. Alternatively, we do one tile in, there, 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 there. Time we get back to here, it's there. But we drifted like a couple of tiles. So it'd be significantly wider. going to like cut in on like 3 tiles in the middle to even it out. Something of that sort. What if we went like every 2 tiles, starting there? 2 tiles, and then 2 tiles, and then by the time it's here, it's like it's halfway. Yikes. Yikes, dude. Yeah, that's half. Never double it. So I think the best course of action is actually just to go with the standard and just as far as the substation can reach thing. And if we're going to do that, we might as well do it the proper way and have this lowered to the right height. So we... Okay, well, let's get rid of all this then. I'm going to have it go down like so. There you go. Okay, that's the section right there. Okay. Wait. I want to copy that section. And I think that actually covers the entire... Yeah, it does. So even just the outside lanes of this logistic network still covers the entire thing for construction. So that is really good. Because it certainly means we're going to have not a lot of, like, you know, it's going to be good. It means we're not going to have any space inside the logistics network which isn't covered by logistics drones. Okay, that needs to go. And in with the new spacing. We're gonna paste one right there, 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 right there. There we go. Substations are in place. Really annoying, but it's okay. I don't want to see radar coverage. Alright, I quite like this so far. So this is one quote-unquote section of our modular base thing. Let me get a bunch more concrete, a bunch more of this concrete, some of that, some of that. Also, let me make an infinity dump chest over here. I'm just gonna put a regular chest. Express order. There you go. Just delete all that wood. So this stops working. To disappear. That's going to take a little while. That's alright. We should actually turn that into a requester chest and request wood. That'd be fun. Let's do it. I want you to request all the wood in the whole goddamn world. don't have a lot of just robots, and I don't need a lot, but I can throw in a couple hundred just for funsies. 200. Just to make some deliveries here and there. Okay, so this is one section of our soon-to-be Grey Goo base. So we're gonna start here. Actually, I want it to be properly filled in. Yeah, I want like a lot more of that, please. Yeah. Yep. So, next order of business certainly is going to be connecting up the lines of wire here. So, you guys are going to be connected like so. Now, I specifically want to have all of these electric poles not communicating with each other because I really want to be able to have multiple wires to carry signals if necessary. And each wire will have its own designated purpose. Just to keep things nice and orderly, you know? And then we're gonna take green. No, I need more red. Yeah, that's pretty much its only purpose. Keep things orderly. So we're gonna have like 8 lanes of wire transfer happening. Just for good luck, essentially. I don't know if I'll ever end up using all 8 lanes, but I'm gonna allow for it. And then there's another space in here where I could presumably put even more of them if I really wanted to. But I really hope I don't need more than 8 lanes of data transfer, and if so, I'm gonna have to make some kind of encoding thing, probably. Yeah, but like I'm thinking each lane of data transfer, like the first lane might be a list of things that we are missing or something like that. I don't know. Like keep track of like what our current like tasks are. I don't know what we're gonna do exactly yet. I haven't figured that stuff out. But this is our prototype block, essentially. And that chain signal should not exist. Goodbye. This is our prototype block. That's it. We're done. Sort of. We're done a significant part of it. Yeah, we can just put this in anywhere. Like right there, for example. Yep, seems reasonable to me. So then I could have 3 places where I can put a on or off. So I can put one here, one in the middle if I'd like, and one on the end. And if I can't fit it into those 3 places, I'm going to have to either make a double wide section or improvise. Yeah. There should be enough space to have more than one stop. Like, for example, if I put this there, or there even, like right up against the edge, there should certainly be enough space to pull off from that initial thing and make a stop or 2. Like, for example, let me just paste it in over here for demonstration's sake. Oh, there's a rubber port there. I'll put it in there for demonstration's sake. rid of that. But what I mean is, like, I should be able to pull off of it, go straight up, and have one or even maybe two stations before having to turn back. We're gonna go all the way up, and then oh wait, that is quite close. It looks like we're gonna have room for one station. Oh well, then we can get a second one right like that. You know. And we can always add like train stackers if we really need to. We can also do something like this, where we do one of these. Give one of those. Yeah, it's not bad. Question of the day, can we put the cars of a train down before the locomotive? I know you can push cars with the locomotive, but like, can I just do this and then... Well, that's funky, isn't it? Let me get... Oh, this is gonna be weird. Hold on a minute. Can I just like drive trains backwards just make it more compact? Because only the like front two wagons actually have to be lined up. Everything like this wagon doesn't have to be lined up. There's no reason this last wagon has to be straight. So I can compact rail stations a lot if I can do this. That's gonna be hugely beneficial if I can just do that. Let me just get some nuclear fuel then, because I have nothing else to do. Fuel, nuclear fuel. Schedule. Add station, Knox. Go there. For 30 seconds. Go. What? No. No way. No way. I don't believe it. What? Oh, yeah, okay, that's a temporary stop. I got myself very confused. That is the most hilarious and stupid thing I've ever seen, and we are 100,000% using it. That's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be amazing. It looks so dumb. Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. I mean, why not have the locomotive push? It's gonna be something else for this base. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Well, that means that we can make stops quite compact. We have 3 stops here with 2 rail spaces between them. Now, I don't think each section on its own will have that much throughput of resources, but the idea is that many sections of this base will be able to make things simultaneously and therefore increase throughput to a point where it's manageable, or it's acceptable. We're going to grab hazard concrete next, and we're going to replace the borders with hazard concrete. And in order to make this better, we're going to rotate it around so that it is facing downwards. Make it like a downwards arrow. Or maybe we'll point it towards the center. That's an idea. Yeah. We're gonna do that. Just that. Point towards the center. Nope. Perfect. Next order of business, I'm gonna take out these things on either end, and I'm gonna put them in the middle. First of all, if they're even in the middle, it's here. Well, I'll put one here, and one over here. Nice and symmetrical. And those are connected to each other. Plus, they'll be connected to anything further down the road. So that's a completely covered logistics network. That's exactly what I want. Finally, I would like to have radar coverage on everything. So I'm going to put radars. I'm going to put a radar on the same side as the light this time. I'm going to put one on each corner. Yeah, we're going to put one on each corner of every section. So even just one on the corner does enough radar coverage, but we'll put two just for fun. Make it nice and symmetrical again. I do believe that this is it. I think we are done this initial section, at least. The next thing to do is add the logic to duplicate this over a long distance. And we might have that like the actual base extension circuitry completely separate to like the main, like deciding what goes in each module. And the reason for that would be kind of simple. It'll be because, well, essentially because the expansion of the rail lines is completely separate to the expansion of everything else. You know? So in that regard, I think it's gonna be fine. I believe it's gonna be fine. Yeah. And then we just have to design actual modules for it and then plug it in. This isn't too hard so far. I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. So let me come down here. I'm gonna make another one of these for radars. Where's the radars? I'm gonna also make some maps. We're gonna do cheap mode templates. This is looking pretty good. I'm happy with this stuff so far. So let me well, I'm gonna take a blueprint of this entire thing from here upwards. Well, we should take a blueprint of like a little bit extra too, just for fun. Just for fun. Bang. Include tiles. Man, that looks sexy. Okay. I'm also going to put in for regular concrete and hazard concrete, just for fun, down here. So I can actually concrete the world as I see fit. Can I just, as I can. And then you want hazard concrete. Bam. So I believe I can just find that blueprint. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. Here we are. So this is our official like temporary thing, or like I don't know what to call it, but it exists. This is our template. We're gonna pop that down. I'm gonna go to trees, rocks only. And I'm gonna go from here all the way to the edge of the known universe, which will be over there here someplace. That's just good enough distance. It's most of the trees. So then I just need to find that blueprint again. And if I line it up correctly, bang. Line it up correctly, bang. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Let me just make sure this thing is actually powered up, because it seems like it isn't. Now that these orbital ports are going to have energy, they should start doing their crazy nonsense. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Oh, look at all those robots. Oh, I'll need to charge now, but that's okay. They'll get it done eventually. So, one fun thing that I've done here, and somehow managed to royally fuck up. Oh, that's awful. How have I done that? That's awful. That's awful. That's right. It's just that side that's wrong. God, that sucks. Oh, God. Okay. Give me the thing. Give me the hydro concrete. There you go. There you go. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. I believe that is the... Other than that, I think this is the finished blueprint for the... Like... I don't know what you call it, the extra bits. No, that's not symmetrical. Blueprint. I want to grab the rail signals on both sides that are extra. The rail signals on that side that are extra. And that is stupid and annoying. I don't want to copy that section, do I? I want to copy this section. Yeah, there you go. Control B, blueprint. Copy from there, straight down, all the way across. Wham. Tiles included. This is our new section for the square. And I don't know what to color it as except for... Oh, look at that. That's new. We're going to just call it... I don't know, I'll just put the eye on it for now so I don't forget it. It's looking good. Although... That was a mistake. How did that happen? I don't even know. There you go. There it is. 3 sections, pretty well complete. And we need some landfill down here, apparently. Oh yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to go over these modules and make sure it has landfill on the blueprints. I might just have a landfill blueprint which just pastes down before it. That might not be the worst idea in the world. It's just a like gigantic blueprint of landfill. And at some point I might have to make a blueprint for a wall, like a wall against biters, and paste that on either end of it, assuming this isn't in a band world. What do you call those? I forget what you call them. What are you supposed to call those things? I like the aesthetic of this so far, to be honest. So I'm having fun. I'm not gonna work on the brain just yet. Let's work on some modules, perhaps. So if I have it, I'd like it to be cycling. See, to make the factory grow organically, I think the best way to do it would be to make sure everything, like, things shouldn't line up, if that makes sense. I don't really want this factory to have good ratios, ever. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Because as long as if there's something sorely lacking, if there's something that doesn't have enough resources, obviously, then the factory is going to have an easy time figuring out what to build next. Whereas if it's very ambiguous as to what the actual issue is, it might have issues trying to like figure out what to do, you know? I'm not sure if that's actually going to be the case, but like let's say for example the entire factory is at some stage and had a perfect ratio of resources, then it wouldn't be able to decide what to put down next, or it might have issues deciding what to put down next because it like simultaneously needs and doesn't need anything. It needs everything and doesn't need anything, so it might just like freeze or stall out or something. So I don't want it to have a perfect ratio. Although on the other hand, it seems unlikely to happen ever. And so I shouldn't deal with it. So okay, so I want to copy this section. Yep. Turn that off. Where did I put that? Goodbye. So that seems right. So the ore trains will come in from the left, swing down and around, and then exit on the right. Although maybe I want to put that over there too. That doesn't sit well with me, to be honest. Right in the middle of those two substations, so like if I put this module next to itself, it would not work. Okay, let me think this through. I kind of want, maybe I want the factory to only expand in one direction. That would make it incredibly simple, although it would also restrict its growth tremendously. Or I could at least make modules directional. Although, I think if I made the entire factory only expand in one direction, I would make it... Oh, but it wouldn't really, would it? Because I wouldn't be able to backfeed resources. Or, if I made it such that all the resources came from the left and all the production happened on the right or something like that. I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea, to be honest. I do kind of like that idea. Although everything kind of needs to just go everywhere. And I can't really trust it to figure it out properly. So maybe I can't. This is hard. Because trains that come in one way will get flipped every time they go to a station. They'll be sent the other way. Which is good, but also bad, because I don't know what I want to put, per se. I don't know. Let me think here. I'm trying to make this a mining cell. I have the ore everywhere mod, so I can put this anywhere, and it gives me a bunch of expected resources. So my golden plan here is to slap down a bunch of mining drills, then hook them all up, put a station somewhere here, and then have trains figure out how to get here, and then leave where they want to go. Maybe I just have a turnaround loop on one side, and then have actual station on the other. That way, if trains want to go and come from the wrong side, they can just do a full loop, which is a little inefficient, but hopefully it'll work. Like if I'm a copper train with no product and the station's over here, I can just do a full loop around this block and then come back up and hang out. And while I'm at it, I could even make it do something silly like that, or like take it a block earlier, do something silly, I don't know, like that, and have a bypass lane and have it go back up. That'd be a little silly. I kind of like it though. Let's do it. Let's just have one bypass lane and see how that works out. So on this side, we're going to have a train stop for ore. Alright, come on now. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. We're going to space it out one just so there's room for a train stop, unfortunately. I would rather have liked to not... You know what, actually, I can get away with that. I can get away with that because I'm not going to have a train stop on the other side. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Sure. I'm going to roll with that for now. Put train stop there. Do I have train stops in my... No, I do not. I want train stops. Train stops are just a little bit important. I'm definitely gonna make use of robots in this because they're gonna be incredibly helpful. Although I don't want large. Although it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do that. Well, I'm gonna have robots build things, but I don't think I'm gonna actually have logistics robots doing anything crazy. So this will be our mining thing. I want one station here. You're gonna be supplied with these and those. Okay, that's simple enough. Should we have one station just for sorting ore? Hey, someone just joined my Discord from Reddit, I assume. That's cool. Should we have a central ore sorting station, or should we sort ore at the sites? That is a question and a half. See, I bet I could sort ore with the trains themselves. If I just try to load the ore onto a train. I don't know how the logistics train networks or the logistics network things works here. Like, I've seen something along the lines of this happening. Sent a train. Let me get a train right here. Oh, I can also use logistics spots to deliver fuel for trains. That's probably a good idea. Because I don't want to deal with that nonsense. let's do it. We're gonna definitely have logistics spots running fuel runs, and that's about it. Maybe for nuclear reactors too, because by the time a robot flies across the entire base, it'll be fine. This one, sure, we're gonna call this or pickup. Okay, you. I should look up a guide. I should look up a guide for logistics. Alright, I have returned. I think I know what I'm doing now, sort of. Cross my fingers. Okay, first of all, I need a depot. Let me go build a depot. I need a depot, like, module, in fact. So, let me make that real fast. I'm just going to copy this module. I'm going to duplicate it over here. Except I'm not going to have any of these. Or that. Or that or that. And that is it. Okay, next. I'm going to build the depot is going to have trains. Huh. Well, that's a little awkward, isn't it? Well, I'm actually going to get rid of that and curve it around properly. And I'm just going to copy this. Put there, 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 there. Let me think here. I should reverse it at some point, shouldn't I? Because, yeah, I should. There you go. Maybe this will not only be my depot block, but also have logic in it, because well, to put it simply, I need a logic thing, and there's a lot of empty space in here. Question is, what is the capacity of trains? Also, can I use one depot stop for multiple trains? Is another very valid question. I need the answer to. going to put one down for now. I'm going to say you, my friend, are a depot. And I need a constant combinator. I don't think you have to name it depot, but I'm gonna, just because it's simple to remember and do. Then we need a wire. There you go. And you. So this what all these signals are for. Stop as a depot. 1. Easy. That's it. That's it. You're a depot stop now, my dude. So now train over here. You, my friend, need to just go to depot. I don't care. There you go. Go ahead. You have no fuel. It's unfortunate. There you go. Off you go. That's fun. Now, I can take a duplicate. I can take a... you have a blueprint this? Train? Trains, yeah. Okay. I'll put that down. There you go. And then I will give them all nuclear fuel. First of all, and then we put one there. And the answer seems to be yes. You can, in fact, stack up trains like so. Even though it's a little wonky, admittedly. But now I can copy this little section and just paste it a couple of times. There we go. And yeah, you'll find a new home. Cool. And as for the rest of this, I should be able to copy this little section. Well, let's do this little section for now. Actually, I don't want that at all, do I? No, I don't. We'll just copy this little section. We'll just go boop and boop. So this is now a nice little depot area, which supports 4, 8, 12, 24 trains when I finish it by copying this. Well, I need to copy the whole thing, don't I? Yeah, I do. Copying this, flipping it around, pasting it in right there. How very interesting. Now, I'd like to put a requester chest right here. Yeah. I'll put it on the inside lane just for funsies. I'm going to put a stack inserter in right here. I'm going to request that we bring a couple of nuclear fuels. Say 5 nuclear, well, say 3 nuclear fuels so we can refuel the entire train. And that's about it. Although, I should actually maybe hook it up to the circuit network. Can I just hook that up to there? I can. Set requests. Perfect. And this, I want to put on every single train parking space. Now, the only reason I'm actually doing this is just to make my life in terms of setting the fuel for trains easier. It doesn't actually benefit me in any way, I don't believe, but we're going to set all that up. We're going to throw in a constant combi and a passive provider right there. And in the constant combi, we're going to, well, okay, what we can do actually really easily is set that to there. Or actually what we can do is put a passive provider here, put a what is that? A decider combinator, whatever. There. Then we do red to red, and you shouldn't need anything. So I'm just gonna, whatever I dunk into you, I'm gonna have you test if each is greater than 0, and if you are, I'm gonna output each as 1. That means all of you are gonna request 1, and you're gonna come take it. That's kind of genius. Now, the trickaroo here is I'm gonna copy a whole whackload of you, dunk y'all into here, but each of these is still only gonna request 1. Yeah. So logistics robots are gonna come and fill everything up. How nice. Now, you have stuff, but are you gonna give it to this train? No, you are not. Okay. This is a failed attempt then. I don't need refueling anywhere but the front line because everything else doesn't care. Yeah. Although also, I'm going to get a buffer chest. And this is going to be a buffer chest. And well, that's it. That's something we do for now. But just for extra fun, we're going to throw this down, flip it around, get an infinity chest in here, and you're going to make train fuel for me. Thank you very much. Okay, sir. And you're going to request for buffer chests. Thank you. Just real clear here. Yeah, perfect. Now we have this giant buffer system. I'm just going to copy this front bit, flip it around, place it in there. I'm actually not going to have that. I'm just going to have that connected. There you go. And now those guys are all going to get that. Perfect. So that'll do. Although I should have a thing here which just, instead of doing that, I'm going to go over to there, and then from there to there, and then the combinator. Oh, well, I guess I do need a combinator. Combinator from here will go to you to you. No, not like that. From you to you, and then you are going to decide what proportion is correct by setting 0 to 3. Or we're going to set train to 3 just for fun. Just for fun. How about that? Train to 3. You are going to multiply train by, well, each, ideally. Or everything. Well, that's not going to work, is it? What? Really? by. Well, it's a bit of a noof, isn't it? Because I don't really know what what resource I want here. Well, that sucks. What it is, then, I suppose. That's very strange. Very strange indeed. Although, another thing I can do is restrict these to 3 stacks. Yes, and then get rid of that altogether. How does that sound? What would happen if I did that? And that's all you can handle, so you wouldn't drop anything else. Oh. Oh no. Okay, well, worth a shot. Oh jeez. Please, for the love of God. So that seems to work fine. That seems to work fine. So whatever's in this buffer chest gets distributed to all the stops and fed to all the trains. And we can have a total of 24 trains park and wait here. That's pretty good. I'm quite happy with those numbers. And then I've got a big space up here for whatever I feel like, really. A big space down there for whatever I feel like. Also, this has inspired me to perhaps look into doing this crossover thing instead of what I was doing previously. How about that? Also, if I destroy this guy, just destroy that. I don't know. But I'm thinking about doing this crossover thing with the trains instead of what I was planning on doing previously, which was this. What if I ran a train loop straight across, just this? Like I did one of these, you know? Sure. That way, I can keep them going in a straight line. If they want. As for train stops, I don't really want regular train stops anymore. I want these fancy ones. Thank you. Yeah, one. And yeah, so that works out nicely. Okay, so next I can do a constant copy here. Also, this needs to move up actually because that's how that works. And you are going to be called, well actually I think I need to tell you what you're called, right? Do you? I don't think so. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. You can be whatever the hell you want to be. Okay, well, I'm going to connect you to you. And you, my friend, are a... No, I don't want you. to you. No. I want you to you. I want you to you. And I want over here and all the way down the line. Cool. And then finally, you are going to have some inputs here. So first of all, you are a I don't care about that. I only want 3 trains here. Thank you. I only have room for 3 trains. 1 here, 1 behind it, 1 further behind that. I want to be a provider chest thing. How do I? What's the way to say specify I want to be a provider? Where's the way to specify? Isn't there? Let me go back to my reference video.
Negative value of 1,000. What is our demand?
Oh, that's a request. That's how you request. Sure. But how do I? How did he do a provider here?
1,000. You can change the default in the mod options if you like. Let me find it here. Yeah, you can set different default request and provide thresholds.
Oh wait! I know exactly how it works. So it's just smart like that. I think it's just smart like that. So it doesn't care, and it knows that I have some resources here, probably. So it's chill. It knows what's up. It knows what's up. Probably. I think is my guess. I don't know, but that's what I'm assuming is how it works. Allow me to get a filter inserter. Also, I should really move this stuff down because hold on a minute, everybody. Alright, I'm back. Let me finish moving the rest of this down. Let's go there. Copy you 2 straight down. There we go. Just need to reconnect this wire, and we're good. Also, you need to be connected to. I'm just going to reconnect you directly there. Perfect. And then we're going to duplicate this entire thing, flip it over. Oh, that's one kind of downside of doing it the way I've done in this stupid configuration. I can't have it. The train stop takes up 1 tile. That's why no one ever does this. Probably. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does indeed. I mean, I could throw a second one down here, but I don't know. seems unnecessary for now. Let me grab a couple of filter stack inserters. There's an idea. Bam. Bam. You, I want to whitelist iron. I want to whitelist copper. I want to whitelist stone. Wait, is there uranium here? Coal, copper, iron, coal, iron, stone, copper, iron, coal, iron. Well, let's search. It's probably going to be easier to search for the actual drill. It's only those 4 resources. Good to know. Now, okay, uranium patches just exist still, normally. So does oil. That is an oof, because I made this world very little. Yes. It's an oof, because I made this world very little of those things to hopefully make things work better, but now I've just screwed myself over. Well done, me. Also, I am going to connect this to there instead, and I'm going to get rid of this first lane and this lane, and actually we'll keep that first lane, do this last lane, and that lane. Then we're going to duplicate this over to the other side, and we're going to go copper, or iron, copper, coal, stone, and we're going to do that on all 4 sides. That is how we're going to sort our things here. And I'm going to actually what I should really do is not use filter stack inserters, just use regular inserters. You're gonna have a fun time, aren't you? Yeah. But then what I do is put express belts and blue splitters. Oh, where are those? Give me some blue splitters. We're gonna go bam, 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 bam. We're gonna go for the part right. We're gonna go iron ore and gonna be weird. I guess because I don't actually want to split it like that, I can afford to just do it like that. Ooh, I do not like that though. What do I have the most of in any given patch, or is it approximately even? It's definitely the most copper, although it seems to be kind of random. Yeah, it does. Doesn't really seem like one patch is more populous than the other ones. Although, I would say maybe stone is the least popular. Yeah, I don't know. Seems pretty evenly spread. See, the problem is if I do it like this, I can only realistically hope to have 1/2, or like, I don't even know. Not much throughput of resources. What if I did something fancy? Such as this. Oh god. Okay, well, let me... I don't know if I could... I don't know. Let me figure this out. So first, I'm going to divide out the iron. So I'm going to say iron goes to the left. Good. Next. Copper. Copper goes to the left. Next. Coal. Coal goes to the left. And then finally stone. Bam. Done. I don't know if this lane is strictly necessary. Let me see what happens if I don't put it. And then we're gonna just like, and then stick a bunch of these things on the side. Do you ever get the wrong resources to the wrong places? That's the question of the day. The answer is no. Good. So the reason I need to do this instead of something else crazy. So the reason I've got this ore mod on where there's ores everywhere is simply because like I don't want to have to depend on whether or not where ores are. I don't want to have to detect that. That's like way too much nonsense for this factory concept. I want it to be self-expanding, but I'm not completely opposed to using a couple of mods here and there because I have to use recursive mods anyway, and this is a mod which allows the factory to grow automatically while still having a challenge. The challenge being that all the ores are mixed in together. But I can sort that out, but I need space to sort it out, and I need the factory to automate sorting it out and like regulate the amount of resources it has and stuff like that, and that is going to be difficult still. And so that's why I'm doing it this way instead of some other way. But yeah. So knowing that, right. But how do I have a filtered provider? I see what the post meant now, because like you can't just go into here and say I just don't ever want anything except for something specific in here, because that, like the logistics network doesn't know how to do that. So I've got to enable or disable these boys depending on how it works. But I'm sure that video will get to it eventually. But something like this is what I'm looking at for the entire factory. I'll turn this iron probably mostly to steel, and then into rails and power and robots and etc. And then continue to expand, and the copper obviously gets converted into circuits. Coal will likely be used as fuel, and as for stone bricks, concrete, the works. And then that's it. We're good. And then we just need some uranium every once in a while. I might try to avoid using uranium at all in this playthrough because it's going to be a pain for this factory to find because it's not in the regular ores. Plus, it's going to be a pain to regulate and automate and that sort of thing, and I just don't want to deal with that, to be honest. So, I'm thinking probably we're going to go steam generation. Or solar. Solar's a great idea, actually. Actually, we should totally go with solar. I don't know what I was thinking with that other stuff. We can fill in gaps with solar. Like, even the gap in here, we can just fill in with accumulators just for fun. Over here, definitely we could put in some solar and accumulators. And I mean, if we need power, we could just, like, lay down an entire block, which is just power. In fact, I could make an entire block, which is just power right now for fun. Let me get an eye. No, that's what I want. No. You're off, please. Eye. Make some more of you. I'm gonna put another one. I should automate this, and then I can just have an infinite number of these things to dick around with. There you go. The robots will build that eventually. They'll take their time, but they'll do it. In the meantime, I can turn this into a giant solar field. And I'd like to do that greatly. So, let me get rid of some of this crap that's in my inventory. In fact, auto trash, I'm going to get all the ores. And logs. Just boop. 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 think that's it for the most part. I can dump a lot of this concrete too. Anyways, and then we're gonna get a bunch of solar, a bunch of accumulators. I like the idea of keeping this concrete path open for the most part, besides trains. Yeah. So we could potentially throw in a loop of train just for shits and giggles, essentially. Yeah, let's do it. And if we're gonna be honest, I like the idea of just having this loop of train like on every block, more or less. Like not every block, but it lends itself well to this idea of that's all I have to say. So let's do that for now, and then we're going to fill in everything with solar power. Now, I believe the ratio, what's the correct ratio of solar panels to ratio of solar panels to batteries? In Factorio. 0.84 accumulators per solar power panel. Okay. Well, good news is I got 0 both right now. So, if I do one of these. Oh well, is that actually perfect? Oh, that was perfect. I love that. Boom. That is deeply satisfying. Oh wow. That is deeply satisfying. It's perfectly spaced. Also, we're going to go into my creative mode chests and make accumulators and solar power for funsies. No. Oh dear lord. This one is going to be 4. Oh, well, you know what? We're going to duplicate this again. We gotta start going north because I need more space. We're going to grab solar accumulators. And then up here, when I start building this stuff, and a whole whack load of storage. There you go. And then I'm going to dump the rest of the storage just in there. Good. And then I'm going to go oops. Oh, also, I want those, and I want those, and those. Anything else I need? Well, those as well. Okay, not bad. These are all the resistors so far that we're using. We've got 32 of those and 70 of those. So we're looking at, well, it's close. This is, well, we have 2 layers of solar panels, but it's close. Ignoring that small fact. Oh, and those ones are not finished. Okay. Well, in that case, well, first of all, let me get rid of these because actually, it's easier to just plan it on 1/2 for this thing. Even down to the quarter. It's easier to figure it out on a quarter. So let's start doing that from now on. That is 48 to 32. That's damned close. So tell you what. I'm gonna take out those and those, that. Cool. Yeah. Wow, that lines up so well. I did not want to screw that up, but I said I wouldn't screw it up, so there we go. Just won't go further than that, I suppose. $34 divided by 50. That's close. That's close. Let me pull up the calculator and do the old math. 34 divided by 50 is 0.68. So we're a little undervalued in the accumulator department, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Although I would like to cover this area in solar panels, ideally. Oh, my ears do not like being squished. Okay. Accumulator time. $74 divided by 76. I can tell you that's way too much accumulators. 74 divided by 76. 0.97 accumulators now, so yeah, more accumulators than necessary. More solar power. And then here's where it gets interesting, because this is the center point. Right, yeah. But okay, I mean, that's not bad. Now, it's all fine and dandy, but we've got, what, 6 right there. 10 and another 6. Well, 10, so 16. So I want to get rid of 8 of these, just to make it fair. So we're going to take 4 and 4. Now, how many? We've got 113 and 125. We've got way more accumulators than necessary. We should get rid of some of these and put solar panels back. Where Can we even fit more solar panels? I honestly don't. We can just get rid of the edge cases, maybe. Seems wrong to me, but how about now? That's the question. 119. It's closer, but still no cigar. Well, we don't necessarily need all these lanes of accumulators. I've just chopped out one of these lanes. Yeah, we did. Well, it filled back in with accumulators in the corners. I filled in with concrete. How about that? Yeah? I'm liking that a bit. Not bad. Although I kind of want it to end right there, to be honest. Although I could also get bricks and do some fancy design work here. So that transition is less noticeable. I like that, to be honest. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. What's our ratio like? 113 to 85? That's pretty good. Divided by 113. 0.75, not bad. It still could be improved upon, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's almost as close as we're gonna get. Although it is a little bit short, to be honest. I would rather it be. I would rather. I'd rather be over on the accumulators than under, to be honest. And maybe I don't like this solar panel right up against the road thing, because it's dangerous. Once again, it's 1 to 1. Okay. I mean, is it really problematic? I don't know. I feel like it's not as big an issue as it should be. Or it's not as big an issue as it is. Or, wait, what? It's a bigger issue than it should be. How about that? How you doing now? 87 to 108. That is really close. Let me see. 87 times or divided by 108 is 8.05. That is pretty close. Wait. Is that right? 87 divided by 108. Yep, that's right. That's the right number. Right number. That looks very close to being perfect. Just a little bit more accumulators, a couple extra accumulators here and there, somehow, and it would work just fine. It'd be perfect. easily just take out like a 3x3 section of accumulators or solar power and just like, oh, so sweet. Except that brings it up way too close. Unless perhaps no, wait. This is what I want to do. Wait a minute. What if I offset the solar panels so that there's less wasted space down here? Well, drop one of those. Oof. Oof, that's real close. Well. Oh man, that is close. That is real close. I'm not happy with how close it is. Meanwhile, over here I am quite happy. Okay, that's not bad. And then, when I'm over here, I can go ahead and fix up that line. And then, while I'm at it, fix this up too. One tile of wasted space. And let me just fill the rest of this in so we get an idea of what it looks like. I'm quite happy with that. Now, let me check that. 114 accumulators. Too many accumulators. Again. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Check. An extra one of those and dropped one of those. What are we looking at now? 12. Well, for one thing, we also need to account for the fact that half of the ones on this edge will be gone. So, boop, boop. Done. Now, we also need to account for the fact that there's 15 on this side, and half of those will be gone. So we're looking at goodbye 2, goodbye 3, and goodbye 2.5. So we have plus an extra half accumulator. Plus 1/2 an accumulator. And how many accumulators do we have? We have 102.5 accumulators to 101 solar panels. That is quite close. Quite close indeed. I would like more solar panels. Let me see what would happen if I removed some of these, or all of them, as the case may be. Put it back. Bang. 85 to 112. Right. But now, hear me out. I bring you back to the way you were just now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, right. We still lose 2 of you. We still lose 1 of you. But now we add the half, so now we have the correct number of accumulators. We have 111 to 88. 111. 88 divided by 111.79. Ooh, just a couple extra accumulators. That's all I need. All I need. What if I did 2? Oh, that is sexy. Oh, 111 to 90. 0.81. 3% off. 3% off. I could just remove a solar panel and it would work. Remove the solar power panel, put 1 accumulator. How's that looking? 91 divided by 110 is 82.7. We're short on 1% of an accumulator. 1% of accumulator is what we're short on right now. Can I do that trick again? I can do it right there. That's not ugly. That's not ugly. We can even add a second accumulator right there, which would be fantastic. 109. 84.4, and then 93 would be 85. So you know what? I'm gonna put a second accumulator right there. Because I don't mind being a little bit over. In fact, I want to be just slightly over. And then I'm gonna fill the rest of this in. I'm gonna take a copy of this corner. And I'm going to take a blueprint from my spells. No. And I'm gonna hold shift when I do it. I think that's the key. Yeah, tiles included, please. On that, and then we're going to create blueprint. We're gonna flip it around. Paste it right there. Bang. I don't actually want to do that. Okay, well done me. What have I done to myself? Give me my solar panels accumulators back. Thank you. Good. Okay. Here we want boot. Okay. There you go. And then you just go all the way across. You go all the way across as far as you can. There you go. Boop. And one of these. Oh, hello. Hi. How are you? I've seen your Drilleric Twitch channel. Grey Goo Project is here. This is so good. Good job. I'm about to design beer back off screen for your streaming. Have a look. The URL in my Twitch profile is Pike. Best of Luck. Factorio is one of the best games. It is one of the best games. Let me. Let me pull up Twitch real quick. I completely missed those messages. When were they? 2:05? No, shit, that was 15 minutes ago. I'm bad at everything. Let me pull up Twitch. I'm bad at streaming. I'm sorry, guys. Where the heck is Twitch? There it is. Found Twitch. Profile pic. You. I made this account like last month. Okay. Okay. I can't see the link. Have a look at the URL in my Twitch profile's pic. I don't see that picture or the link. Factorio is one of the best games, though, I must say. Whoops, that's the wrong button. Okay, I'm gonna copy this section. Tiles included. Especially, even, perhaps. put it in that way. And then we're just gonna lay down solar panels for the rest of it. I believe everything else should be measured out correctly. Okay, and then we're going to grab like the nearby section of this. There you go, and then we're going to grab this section. On this, isn't it? Grab that, and that's how it works. Grab this. There you go. That's it, I believe. So we're going to grab this quarter of it. This quarter with tiles, actually. That quarter, tiles included. Flip it around. Bang. Okay, cool. Now, robots should be flying in. Yep. Just slap that stuff down. It's going well. So this is our power module. We're gonna have to wait and see what the actual output of this thing is. But yeah, we should be also the number of actual accumulators and solar panels in here. Maybe I might have miscalculated. It's looking pretty sweet though. Yeah, it's looking pretty sweet. I like the way it looks like a box in the map. And from the ground, it looks like a face. Fantastic. Just what I need for the face. Yeah. I should put lights on here. What am I doing? Put a light there. There. Right there. There. Someone's right by the moon. Yeah. There. Let me see. Well, there's not really a lot of room in here, is there? I've kind of compacted it all into... There's like, yeah, there's literally no... I should have left the one space so I could put lights in there. That would have been smart, wouldn't it? But I'm not smart, so here we are. In darkness. Because darkness is cool. I kind of want to put a light there instead. And then... like, pull one of these. Pretty good. I like that. I could certainly put lights on this path. Oh, I need to turn on my thing for this path because I don't have refined concrete at my base. Get my lights. I certainly would like to put lights on this path because it's kind of dark. Also, I'm just going to copy this section and just flip it around because I'm too lazy to figure out where that stuff belongs on this side. Lights, camera action right now, but for realsies. I don't know. I mean, ideally I would like to be able to drive a car through here, but I don't think that's really going to happen anyways, so I'll just put some lights down. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's do it like this then. We'll put one there. We'll put one there, and then one there, and then one there. Okay. Okay, it's not bad. let me see this. Wait, can I? Huh. Oh, that's crazy. Alright, cool. Alright, let me see here. Yeah. Alright, it's looking good. So, oh, also, you know what else I need? Which I've completely forgot about until now, till this very moment. Also, right in the middle of this thing, I've just realized there's some empty space for lights. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wondrous? But for realsies, I've just realized I need a actual blueprint thing. Although I think I might put all the blueprint things like up in this space between the rails. I think that might be effective at things because it's also close proximity to these poles with all the data on them. So, I don't know, makes sense to me. Yeah. Next order of business is more stone bricks so I can finish laying out the groundwork for these things. That's good. Seems good. I like the pattern of electric poles, and I like that it gets made consistently. Oh wait, why is that one popping up like that? That's stupid. Whatever. Sometimes that line gets made and sometimes it doesn't, but it's all good. Anyways, yeah. We should designate one of these as a tracker of all of the components in our base. And I'm going to take the red line on the top here. Also, I've just realized we have to make all our things directional anyways, because otherwise we don't know which signal to use unless we connect the two signals and say that like the outside ones are actually the same signals, like this circuit network and this circuit network are the same. We could do that, but either way, I'm going to include in this blueprint right here, very top left, a little wire doohickey. It's gonna go over to here. I'll go over into the middle, and then straight to. Well, actually, I shouldn't take him because he's like a central one. I should avoid using him if possible. So I'm gonna go to that guy and then over to that guy. And the reason for that is because you are going to be labeled as a solar panel. I'm just gonna put one. That's simple. So the idea with that is that every one of these modules is going to have a combinator on it, which just outputs one signal that's designated to this type of module. And this is a solar panel module, so it's outputting one solar panel. And then way back at our starting point, our initial point, we're going to have a power pole, this power pole here, which will be carrying red signals of a list of all of the components to our base that we have. And I could potentially use that as a master list and try and aim for a certain ratio of base components. And I say ratio because this factory is supposed to be expanding forever. So, we'll do some simple arithmetic to decide what our next module will be, whether it be mining or solar or whatever, it'll just repeat. I don't know. It'll just keep on building stuff forever and ever and ever. Ideally. I think that's gonna be it for tonight, though. To be honest, I've been at this for the last 2.5, 3 hours. So I'm like.